started this on Tuesday, but we didn't finish it all. So what we're going to need to do is we need to finish the map it out section. So what we're going to need to do is the first part says the driver wants to set up some new mailboxes. Draw a symbol for a mailbox and add it to the key. So looking at the key, there's a spot right there for a mailbox. What does a mailbox kind of look like? What do you think, Riley? Maybe something like that. I know my mailbox is kind of like a half circle with a flag. So you draw your mailbox. You draw your mailbox however you want to. So you have to have your symbol down here. So, right now you're going to draw it. And I know mine is not going to be the perfect one because I don't have a nice sharp pencil. But then I'm going to label it mailbox. Okay, when you have that done, X off number 1. Okay, can you quietly do it, please? I hear lots of people shouting and talking. Okay, number 2 says we need to put 1 new mailbox 2 miles from the office building. So I know I first need to find the office building, and if I look over here, do you think they want the post office? Yeah, what they mean by the office building is the post office. So I'm going to find the post office here, and I'm going to take my ruler, and so you should all have one for math. If not, you know where they're at.
Where do I get
In the office, okay? Okay, bye, Kaden.
Caden's folder.
What?
Caden's folder.
What do you mean?
I got it. No, it's gone. I already have. You remember?
Thanks for remembering them. Okay, now, I'm going to take... Did you forget your folder, bud?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you got it.
There's nothing in there. Okay. You still need it.
Did you...
I had my folder. Is it in your bag? Check in your bag.
Did you put it in your bag thinking that you didn't? Be careful that rug there. Maybe you put it in there and you totally forgot that you did. Because I did that yesterday. I thought I put my phone in my purse and I started driving away and it was at school. It wasn't in my purse. Okay. All right, secretaries, tell Kaden bye. Bye. See you tomorrow, Kaden.
Bye, Kaden. See you tomorrow. Cupcake.
Oh, ask him, does he want a cupcake? I didn't even think about that. Hey guys, no. I don't need all 3 of you. Brooklyn, sit down.
He said no.
Okay, I just need 1 person, not all 5 of you. All right. Now you need to take your ruler. And how many inches is it, Brooklyn?
2.
Okay, so I'm going to measure from the post office, and I'm going to go 2 inches away, and I'm going to put a mailbox with the flag. Now I can go down there, I can go down there, I can make my ruler go around. I just don't want to put a mailbox on a road, okay? So you find wherever you want to put your mailbox, make sure it's 2 inches apart, which is 2 miles. And then cross off number 2 when you did that. All right, so we have number 1 done, number 2, now we're on to number 3. Put another new mailbox 3 miles from the blue houses. So can you guys find these blue houses here? Okay, and I don't care which house you pick because there's 3 of them. But you have to put a mailbox. How many miles?
3.
3 miles, which is 3 inches, right? So again, take your ruler and go 3 inches. And wherever 3 inches is, from the blue houses, let's put yours. What about 3? The blue houses. Okay, make sure you get your other mailbox. Mine went 3 inches and it was right about here. Once you get your second mailbox drawn, cross that off. All right, number 4 should be pretty easy. How many miles does 1 inch represent on this scale over here? So if I have 1 inch, how many miles is it, everybody?
1. 10.
Really?
1.
Everybody look again.
3.
Stop
1
shouting.
mile.
Guys, a lot of you are not looking at the right one. Oh, you know what, guys? Hold on. I'm not looking at the right one. You guys are. I'm not. They don't want that one. What do they want? That one. I'm sorry. So let's try it again, guys. 1 inch is how many miles? 10. Yes. Good job. I'm sorry. I was thinking they wanted that one. They want this one right underneath it. So 1 inch on this scale is equal to 10 miles. I'm sorry. That was my fault. Okay, once you have 10, cross that off. Then on number 5, we have to look at this other map scale. Now this one's even different. How many inches would a map with this scale need to show 300 miles? So if I wanted a map to have this scale of 300 miles, how many inches would that be? LEA? What? 1 inch. So put 1 inch.
I thought it was 3 inches because 300 and.
Okay. Now, I know we finished this. I want us to start the next map skills page. We might not finish it all, but I want us to at least start it. So will you flip your page? Most of you might be 34, 35, or 35, 36, right?
No, 36, 37.
Okay. Either way, flip it. 36, 37? Okay. All right, Mrs. Murphy's got to get hers up.
Whoa. What's kg?
Okay. Hold on.
From America. I found New York. I found America. I found Minnesota. I found exactly where I live. New York. I found the Mississippi.
Okay.
I didn't do it. Oh, it's huge. I found the Mississippi. From Washington, D.C. I found Georgia. I found Mexico. Ascala. New Mexico.
Okay, well, guess what? Mine did not copy or scan. So listen, I'm just going to read it and you're going to follow along. All right, now we are going to start learning about a political map and what that means. So right now, take your finger and show Mrs. Murphy where the United States and the 50 states are at. Perfect. Show me where Canada, the country above us, is at. Brooklyn. I didn't say use your mouth. Okay, point to where Mexico is at, the country below us. Okay, now, follow along as I read. I'm going to start with the word this. This map of the United States, this is a map of the United States because it shows states and countries. It's called a political map. Okay, everybody say political with me. Ready?
Political.
Good. So it's called a political map. So what we're going to do is look at the key and find the symbol for the national border. So everybody find the key on your map. Find the key. Find, no. I don't want Mrs. Murphy. I want the key, point to it. Okay, now, I want you to see what is the national border. Okay, I do have it, but it's not colored. Okay, so if you look, what is the national border? What does it look like? Brooklyn, what does it look like? So the border between the United States and Canada, what does that look like?
A line.
Well, it's not just a line.
It's a curvy line too.
Well, it is a little curvy, of course, but if you look very closely, what kind of line is it?
It's like a dotted line on a
Oh, it's like a dotted line.
It's like this.
So, you can see it's kind of like dotted a little bit. So that line up there is representing the border between the United States and Canada. Now, if I were to drive my car from Fairmont, Minnesota, or Grenada, and go up to the top of Minnesota and go into Canada, am I going to see that dotted border?
Yes.
No, I don't see that border. It's there, but it's like an imaginary line. So is there a fence? No. So there's no fence on the border that divides the United States and Canada. It's just an imaginary line, okay? So when we look at borders of countries and states, they're just lines that are imaginary there, okay? Now, a national border is the boundary line between countries. Find Canada. Everybody find Canada. It is north of the United States, and we can see that border. Put your finger over here and run your finger from Washington, across Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota. Then it goes up here through one of the Great Lakes. And then it goes through the other Great Lake down by Michigan and by the other Great Lakes. And then it goes up by Vermont and Maine. So there is our national border between Canada. Now find Mexico, guys. And find the border that's the national border down here. And it starts by California, goes to Arizona, New Mexico, down to Texas. And that's it. So this one only goes past about 4 states, where this one goes through many more. Wyatt?
If you're going down the road and you run into a state border, or a national border, there would be a sign that says national border, blah, blah, blah.
You're right. Most of the time, if you're on a road and you're passing like Minnesota into the United States into Canada, you'll see a sign. Or even if you go from Minnesota to South Dakota, a lot of times once you hit the border, you'll see a sign that says like, welcome to Minnesota, or welcome to South Dakota, or welcome to Iowa. So you'll see those signs so that you know that you're in a new state, okay? But there's no like a fence or anything that you have to go through.
That would be a long, long fence.
Yeah. Sometimes my second graders think, well, isn't there, it's like a border, like isn't there a fence to keep you in your area? No.
Now you gotta go wherever you want to go in the world.
Lewis.
I know someone, almost a part of my family. He knows a lot about countries, and he drew a big drawing of the map once, and he picked like a lot of colors, like all the state colors, like on here.
Yeah.
And
he was very good at it. Okay, now down here, the next part says sometimes the border is imaginary line. Sometimes a body of water forms part of a border. Now, if you look from Minnesota to Wisconsin, there is the river, the Mississippi River, that starts in Minnesota, and it goes right here between Wisconsin and Minnesota, and that is the border. It's not a road, but the river is the border. So it was really cool because a couple, like last year, 2 years ago because of COVID, my aunt and uncle live right on the Mississippi River, and we took their boat, and on one side of the river we were in Minnesota, and then we drove the boat across the other side of the river, and we were in Wisconsin. So we were in 2 different states just by going from one side of the river to the other side
of the
Yep.
river.
So sometimes a river can divide it, or even sometimes water, like a lake, could divide something too. Mrs. Murphy.
In St. Louis, I saw the Mississippi River.
Did you see the Mississippi River?
Yeah, same.
Yes.
I in person I seen it.
Mississippi River.
Guess what? The Mississippi River
Where's
goes up
St. Louis?
here, and it's a border to a lot of these states. It kind of goes right down the middle of a lot of these states.
I seen Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Like in person.
Okay, now, the next part says the Rio Grande forms part of the border between Mexico and the United States. The Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean are borders too. Okay?
Miss Murphy.
Now, just a second. We're going to go over. This must be an old one. Do you guys have Where Our Last Gun Wife?
No.
No. Okay, I must have a very old book because my other one didn't scan. So, this is maybe the newer version. So follow along right up here, and I'll read this, and then if you have anything you want to share, you can share, and then we're gonna finish it on Monday. Okay, this map shows our 50 states in the key. Find the symbol for a state border. So now, what does the state borders look like on a map? It's not a dotted line. Journey, what is it? A straight, solid line. So, you guys can see a straight, solid line is a border for states. A state border separates one state from another. Like national borders, state borders can be imaginary lines on a map. Bodies of water also separate states. Find the Mississippi River in the center of the United States. Follow the river from Minnesota to Louisiana to see how many states it separates.
The answers.
Yeah. Okay, so take your finger. The answer is 10. So everybody right now, put your finger up on Minnesota. We are so lucky because the Mississippi River starts in Minnesota. And make your finger follow that. And so it's going to go through Minnesota. What's the next state? Wisconsin. Then what?
Michigan.
Oh, wait, you're going too fast.
Michigan.
No, it doesn't go way out.
Michigan.
Who's saying it jumps over here?
I don't know.
Put your finger on Minnesota and go all the way down. It goes past Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Missouri,
Nebraska.
No, Nebraska's over here. Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana. 10 states that it goes through or goes by. Okay?
I thought it goes like this. So like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, then
Nope, it doesn't go that way. Nope,
Nebraska.
it goes down. Nope, that's another river. It goes down. So you were, that river is like probably the Missouri River. There's other rivers over
Because
here.
it starts in Missouri, then it
Yeah.
goes like in Nebraska.
Okay. Wyatt,
The national border kind of shows the route that the Edmund Fitzgerald took. Because the storm was really bad on the U.S. side, so then the captain decided to go to the Canada side, but it was worse there.
it was worse there. Okay, good. Okay, Libby.
Are all the rivers that are like right here, like these little ones?
Those are all rivers. Yep, they're all rivers.
Now look, there's like
Brooklyn.
Is this just me or is
Mexico, the border, and this the only dotted line, and the rest are just straight. And then there's no dotted line. Nowhere.
I don't know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
there is no down.
Sean, I can't hear her. Say it again.
So you know the dotted line across that?
Yeah.
And we're down here, there's nothing on this side.
Because this is water. So the border would not have to be between two states. The border is between this and an ocean. So they don't need a dotted line because this is between national, so different nations. So water is not a nation. Water is an ocean. So we don't need a dotted border because it's not between two countries.
And then my other one, why is everything straight and this bumpy one is just
Because why is everything straight? Because some borders are straight, some borders are curvy. It depends on how the states were created.
Why is it like line and this one binder and everyone else is not lined? Like this one is not lined and this one is lined.
These are all on your map. They're all dark lines.
Okay.
Yep, but not on this one because this is this is copying black and
I
white.
know, but why is it like, you know the dotted line down here? Why is it not up on
Because
the
this is
other ones?
between, Brooklyn, you're not getting it. This is between the countries and the two countries. These are all states. These are all states. These are, Brooklyn, these are not countries down here. This is one country but broken into 50 states.
Like 50?
Of course, Brooklyn.
Okay,
Kind of looks like
all right, Willis.
states.
There's 50 states down here. So everything that's in bold words are 50 states and it's pointing to where they're at.
And the second one, what are these?
Those are lakes in Canada.
But-
If you look at your map, you can see, because yours is colored better, these are lakes in Canada. Yeah, you gotta look at your map, because mine's not colored very well. Okay, all right, John.
We can barely see the lakes in Canada.
Right, because they're not showing us the whole, all of
No,
Canada.
They're not supposed to be showing us Canada.
Right, because we're
It's
talking
supposed
about
to
the
be
United States. We're talking about the United States, but they wanted to show us that there's two countries above us, one below and one above. Last thing, Lila.
You know where we kind of live in the chunk right there?
We're right up, we're always in the bottom, in the middle, okay? So that's where we're always at. All right, close up your books and put them away.
Miss Ruthie, I know we're